What's up, guys? Rick here with your fades for this week's Tour Championship, and this is a little weird. It's a little tough. There's 30 players in the field. How am I going to come up with fades, or 5 of them, for a 30-player field when every lineup you make is going to have 20% of the entire field in it? I'll do my best. It'll be a little bit creative. If you have not watched the DFS preview yet this week, that is required watching. This is such a unique situation and a unique event that if you are not well prepared with a great foundation of what is actually going on this week and how it's going to be scored, you're not going to understand anything that's going on, especially in these subsequent videos. So go check that out. And a lot of the fades are going to be because of the setup, because of the staggered start, because of the way that these sites are treating scoring this week. So we're going to jump into that. Go watch the DFS video, but here are your fades for the Tour Championship. I'm starting with Dustin Johnson. He's 15,200, and there is no argument about who has been the hottest player on the planet for the last month. It's Dustin Johnson. That is very clear. But I'm looking at this from a value aspect and from a price point aspect of 15,200. Is he $2,500 better than Jon Rahm for those 2 shots that he's going to be getting? He's going to start at 10 under par. Jon Rahm's going to start at 8 under. Is that worth it? I would argue no, for a few reasons. 2-shot leads on the PGA Tour evaporate almost instantaneously on a weekly basis. We see it on Sunday. We see it on Saturday. I mean, Justin Thomas last year at the Tour Championship, I think his 2-shot lead lasted like 6 holes. I mean, he did not have it by the end of the day. And that's kind of what we see. There's just a lot of shuffling going on. So you are basically prepaying for his finishing position in which he is not entitled to. He is not guaranteed in any way, when I think Jon Rahm is kind of a lot better option for $2,500 cheaper. Now, I will say this. If you are rostering Dustin Johnson, you're doing it because you think he's going to win the golf tournament, not because you think those 2 shots matter. There is a difference to it. I'm not banking on those 2 shots. I think they're going to go away. The model that I ran in the DFS preview shows that if every single golfer in the field plays to their average, Jon Rahm should win this golf tournament. He's $2,500 cheaper. So just understand what you're getting yourself into. Those 2 shots are by no means guaranteed to last more than 1 hole or 9 holes or 18 holes or anything like that. So I'm not going to prepay for the 30 finishing positions, but it's up to you if you want to. Next is Rory McIlroy. It's $9,700 on DraftKings, and this price is weird, man. I mean, so if you went and watched the DFS video, you'll know that I don't think Rory can actually win this golf tournament. Not that he's incapable of it, but he is 7 shots back. He's going to start at 3 under par with Dustin Johnson at 10 under. He's got a lot of guys that he has to pass. You would need an absolute ceiling week from Rory McIlroy for him to come out and win this golf tournament. And even that doesn't matter if Jon Rahm or Dustin Johnson play particularly well. I think the $9,700 that you're paying is more about paying for his victory last year, where he started 5 shots back, came back to win the golf tournament. It's more about his victory a few years ago at the Tour Championship, which he won outright. That wasn't the staggered start version. I just think that it is too much to pay for a guy who does not have winning upside. I mean, he's going to start. He's more expensive than some of the guys at 4 under par. It's kind of silly and bonkers at the moment, especially for Rory McIlroy, who is in no way in the form that we saw last year at this time or in recent weeks before the shutdown. You know, he finally let the cat out of the bag that his wife is expecting any day now, and he's kind of been a bit preoccupied, and it's been hard for him to focus on the course, and that might be part of it. So I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait till next season for Rory. You know, go out, have a great week, have your child enjoy, but I'll catch Rory in a couple weeks and see if he's in a better spot then. Harris English is a fade for me. And this is kind of a weird one because I really like Harris English. I think objectively, and it's hard to argue this, he's been one of the better players on tour since the restart. And in fact, his 40th place finish last week was one of the worst finishes that he's had recently. I mean, he's been that good. My issue with him is he's in a very high leverage spot of the leaderboard, meaning when you start just a handful of shots back, kind of middle of the pack. The finishing position points really do change a lot, from 10th to 7th, from 7th to 4th, all that good stuff. It does change a lot. So I kind of want to get guys with some upside here in the middle. And nothing against Harris English. He's great. His floor is very, very high. His ceiling is not quite as high. We saw him at the Northern Trust probably hit his ceiling. He finished second. He lost by 11 shots to Dustin Johnson. That's no fault of his own. But do we have another one of those ceiling performances out of Harris English, twice in a 3-week stretch? The answer is probably not. I just wouldn't be deploying him in a situation where I need upside and I want to try to win all the money. If I want the safest guy on the board, the guy who's probably not going to kill me, I think it's Harris English, but he's not going to be getting too much of an investment from me this week. And then finally, I kind of lumped a few of the guys at the bottom together here. Cam Champ, Cam Smith, and Mark Leishman. I think there is a natural desire to jam in as many of these 5K guys as you can so that you can get access to Dustin Johnson, get access to Jon Rahm. And while, yes, that's great if you can find the right 5K guy, I don't think these are the right 5K guys. Cam Champ, he had his fate in his hands last week, and he did punch his ticket to Eastlake, but really, to no credit of his own. He played pretty poorly last week. He finished 65th, tied for 65th, in a field of 69 golfers, and he lost 7.7 strokes to the field. It was really bad. Everything but his driver was absolutely horrible. And then Cam Smith and Mark Leishman, since the restart, which I really like because it's a nice tangible starting point. We have a big enough sample size. Everyone kind of started playing at the same time. Since then, there are only 2 golfers in this field who have lost strokes on average to the field per round. It's Cam Smith and Mark Leishman. Mark Leishman's been way worse. He's lost a shot and a half per round to the field. Cam Smith's 0.12 on the negative side, but they are the only 2 guys who have lost strokes to the field in this field. So it's really difficult to try to figure out a way to roster them. I think if you roster them, you must it's either a bad play or you must understand that it is a dart throw. Usually for my dart throws, I at least like to have something, maybe a glimpse of hope, a couple of rounds that they've played well recently, any good history, something like that. I can't find it with these 3. So while I enjoy the 5K range, and I think there's a ton of value in the 5s and the 6s, these are 3 guys that I cannot invest in and back without anything more than just a blindfolded dart throw. There you go. That is the fades for the Tour Championship. That was a lot harder than I expected it to be. There's only 30 golfers in the field, and in theory, a lot of them are playing very well. They've made it this far. They've made it to Eastlake. So it's hard to find some guys that you don't like, but I hopefully maybe provided some answers or gave you a different way to think about things for this week. Let me know what you think. Tweet me. It's at RickRunGood or leave a comment below. Best of luck this week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.